Hello my friends and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to talk about the good, the bad, the properties and all we have to know about Italy. So let's start today's video because I want to go back again to this topic that is the Italian language. So for people who would like to move to Italy or simply for people who would like to learn Italian. So is Italian language so important if you decide to move to Italy? This is the big question anyway about today's video. So I decided to go through a post written in the group Expats Living in Italy by one person who joined the group that anyway is telling his story. Now I will focus on his story and then I will just simply read some comments and their opinion, their consideration. Anyway, if you like this type of video, please put like and subscribe. It helps my channel to grow. And then don't forget to join the Facebook group Italy, a place to love, where I like people to share their experiences, maybe helping each other, and me posting time to time things about Italy. Okay, so let's start and let's read his post. Now, he's a man, this guy. Ciao a tutti. Hello, everyone. Just as a curiosity, has anybody moved to Italy without knowing Italian language? Now, this is a big point. This is a big question. Or even just knowing few words, sentences, and find their home and to stay there and job and working successfully? That's his question. Speaking for myself, I'm not Italian. Anyway, he's not Italian, but his partner is Italian. And I'm planning to move to Italy within the next 3-5 years to Italia. Yes, living with Italian person could and should be easy. Absolutely. Living with an Italian is a huge advantage if you want to move to Italy. Obviously, it will always be an extremely huge advantage, simply because this person speaks Italian, first of all, can look after all the bureaucracy, all the paperwork, and wherever is necessary to speak Italian. And second, because maybe even if you don't speak Italian, because this is the case where the couple is not speaking Italian themselves, but you can always ask a question, you can always ask, oh, but what does it mean this? What does it mean that? Now, yes, living with an Italian person could and should be easy, but at the same time, when you speak only one language every day, English, as I said, like me and my wife, 10 years, and we're still speaking in English even if we live in Italy. It's not very easy to remember everything and learn. However, I'm doing my best, and yes, it should be enough time by then to learn, obviously because he's planning to move in 3-5 years, so he has enough time to learn the basics of the Italian language by taking a course, by using these apps, by using artificial intelligence, by having a tutor, nowadays by watching television. Nowadays there are many ways if we want to learn a language, but not all of these are straightforward and so easy. But so, then I took classes, so we'll see. But is it really true once you move there with only few words, sentences, it's easy to learn faster compared when you're not living there? Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%. We have more chances. We can easily learn a language once we are in the country. The more often you travel to this country, you will start getting familiar with the language. And then if you live permanently there, so I'd say then it depends what is your level of communication, how often you are dealing with that language, because sometimes you might live in here and not dealing at all with Italians, but if you are dealing, then you are learning. So I understand and I know for everybody works differently. It's actually true. It's different for everyone. There are some people that are learning languages much faster and others are slower. But as I just mentioned it, asking for curiosity as to see if I really sometimes thinking too much. I mean, he worries that maybe he's worrying too much. Cheers from Ireland. So this couple, she's Italian, he's not. They live in Ireland. So exactly like me and my wife. I'm Italian, she is not. We live in Ireland. We lived in Ireland together. We live in Ireland 9 years. Then me, I lived 17, but then I met her. She was already living in Ireland a few years, so before we met. But so anyway, not in this video. I will make a video about my personal condition, my personal situation, and my wife Italian level. I can only say that my wife is very good with languages, so I never had the pressure to teach her Italian. She's automatically learning. And since we are here in 1 year, the level of conversation she has around, so it's enough for her. I can say now she's not fluent, but she understands 95% of what people say, and she's able to reply and to communicate after just 1 year in Italy. And speaking in English with me, because at home we speak in English, but I will make a video. Anyway, let's read now the comments under this post just to see in which way people have learned Italian. Now, I started learning Italian 4 years prior the move, but my husband couldn't keep up because of demanding work projects. So now these are a couple. This is a couple, both of them not Italians. So she studied Italian 4 years before they moved to Italy. So she's into the language. Her husband, no, even by living in Italy, because he works in an English environment. So even, but no, the sons are going to school, so for children it's much easier. Then we found a teacher over Skype and we do one-to-one lessons. Then we're making progress. Yes, anyway, again, let's say you are not Italian and you are moving to Italy, you have to get into the language. So basically study the language a bit before, find a tutor or find your own way, which you consider the best to learn the language. Then you move. Once you move, get into the society, start communicating. And so find a teacher. You can still have lessons, and then but once you're here, then obviously your level will improve drastically. When you reach a certain level, it will be easier, absolutely. Once you start understanding what people are saying, then it's automatically easier. Vocabularies you can learn a lot in an everyday life. I'd say that in particular, if you are moving here and you with zero knowledge, let's say, you really have to understand what people are saying. So to understand what people are saying, again, there is the option to take classes or just do full immersion constantly, daily, or you have someone, a close friend that speaks Italian, that is fluent in Italian, and then you switch just to into Italian language with that person. Believe me, 1 year, you will see a great result. Then, yes, it is much easier to learn when you actually speak it with another person. That's what I'm doing, just going to town and speaking to the locals. So I believe maybe this person at home, they're not Italian speakers. Maybe she's on her own, he's on his own. Maybe he doesn't speak Italian at home anyway, or with his friends, whatever. He just does a full immersion every day with the locals in the town. Then again, the best is to become friends with someone that is Italian, someone you don't do just for convenience, but someone who you really may become affectionate, and just maybe every day spend 1 hour, 2 hours, and enjoying Italian conversation. And obviously, if this person is also interested, but Italians are very open-minded from this point of view. They enjoy. Yes, once you are here, you can pick up living among local population. However, it will be good to start before you travel to Italy on basic phrases. There are free online courses like Duolingo and Babbel, which are two platforms that I never used. I remember maybe once, long time ago, I opened Babbel, but I need for it. If I need to learn a language, I don't even need a teacher. I don't need a teacher. I don't need. I might need someone that is explaining me a few things, maybe, but I don't need these apps. All I need to do to learn a language is to move to that country. Once I go to that country, then I know in 1 year I will have a certain kind of result. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, maybe to become fluent, it can even take up to 10 years. Anyway, it depends as well by the language we are learning. If we are talking about Chinese, I'd say before I'm able to have a full conversation, deep conversation with a Chinese in China, it might take many years. But on a daily basis, living there daily, absolutely you will catch one word here, one word there, one sentence, and then someone who you can ask, but what does it mean this? What does it mean that? That, for me, in my case, is the best way. Then, of course, it's important to enroll in a formal course like the one advertised here to pick up grammar and fluency. The Expats Living in Italy group is also promoting their own classes. I don't know their prices, so I don't know how much it can cost an Italian class. Now, for the classes that I will give from September, I decided that I will go for a very small budget. I won't ask more than 10 euro an hour, and I think it's the lowest. A bit because I'm at the beginning of this profession. I know I can do it, so basically I already started giving lessons to one person, and I see that this person is happy and is succeeding, so wants to keep learning Italian with me. So, but anyway, someone is free to apply to anyone. There are many Italian teachers that are selling courses, that are giving one-to-one lessons, so I would openly recommend any one of them. I don't leave the competition inside of me. If someone decides to go to lessons, to Italian classes with me, I will only appreciate. And then obviously you might not be happy. Anyway, that's another story, but we'll see while we are having the lessons. Mainly, I will structure my lessons. I'm planning to start with 10 lessons, like we book 10 lessons, and I will give the first lesson for free. But the first lesson is for me is just a one-to-one chat with the person that wants to take the lessons. First of all, to understand the level of Italian. If it's for me, it's important to understand the person that I have in front of me, because obviously we are all at a different. You are all at a different level, so it's me that I have to adapt to the student, and not the student that has to adapt just to my knowledge, to my level of teaching, and then you have to follow me. No, I will try to adapt. So the first conversation, the first lesson will be just to understand what is your level, for me then to adapt the future classes. Then hopefully you are speaking to your child in your own language. Okay, here it goes because they have children. If you have children, the best thing to do is one is speaking one is speaking on his own language, the other one is speaking on his own language, and maybe they combine a third language when they're all together. But this is about children. Then, from a language learning perspective, keep up the lessons. The more, the better. I definitely agree. And for real language use, practice with your wife. Obviously, she's Italian. Um, Practice at least because you are dealing with an Italian. You don't really need to speak Italian every day or every moment. It's enough you keep asking words. What does it mean this? What does it mean that? How do you say this? How do you say that? What you call this? What you call that? Anyway, and that is already a big way to catch the language because again, this person has a huge advantage comparing to most of you that you're watching. He's in a relationship with, is what married or in a relationship with an Italian. So catch the opportunity. Then when you move there, automatically the language will come. Then it's another topic. It is about working. If you're looking for a job, then you might, in particular in Italy, you might need to speak Italian fluently if you're looking for a job. If you don't speak Italian fluently, now keep up the lesson, or if it's possible, get a tutor. I struggled with classes and I'm really enjoying learning through a tutor. Watch Italian TV or any TV in Italian with Italian subtitles. I totally agree. About the television, now let's say that you want to learn Italian. Your goal is to learn Italian. You know a tiny bit, you don't know much. All I can recommend you is to not already do a full immersion 5 hours a day of Italian language. It's enough you do 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day, you just open any Italian random video on YouTube, you put the subtitles. In the beginning, I would recommend to put subtitles in the language that you are speaking. And then once you start catching one word, two words, the language in the beginning, when we don't know a language. Now, if I'm talking about a language that I don't speak, let's say Chinese again, in the beginning, if I don't know any words, that language would sounds like just one sound from the beginning of the sentence to the end of the sentence is just one sound. Then once your vocabulary, once you learn the words, then you will see that sentence, if you know 3 or 4 words in that sentence, you will see that it's not anymore just one sound. You will start splitting. Oh, and you say, oh, I got that word. Maybe you didn't get the meaning of the sentence, the whole sentence, but you have at least you have caught few words, which is very, very important. Through the television, I'd say we can start catching. Then once your Italian is improving, you can even start switching from the English subtitles to the Italian subtitles. Obviously, then you might start seeing how they write a word and how they write another one. Now, I felt super bad until I learned the language, because I had to take my Italian boyfriend everywhere with me, as Italian mostly don't talk English. That's what happens with me and my wife. I mean, I not now, but in the beginning, I used to. I mean, we do things together, but generally, I always used to do things always with her. But nowadays, I see that she can go here and there. She can enter in a shop, buy whatever she wants on her own. And one day, my boyfriend said, I'm not talking with you English anymore. You have to start talking Italian. That was the turning point, I think. Anyway, good luck. Italian is not easy, but it's much easier than English. Believe me. All the Italian teachers will start telling you that, listen, Italian language is not difficult. We have much more, we have less sounds, so it's much easier. Italian is not easy, don't give up, it's worth it. Now, too many people, yes, sometimes even without even securing a job first. My husband is Italian and had a family emergency, so we had to move within 3 months. I had zero time to prepare, so I've been taking classes upon arrival. It's been 2 years and a half now. I don't like when people are whatever. I find it easier to learn when I'm in a friendlier cities, like visiting family in Naples, but I live in Genova, in the north of Italy, and it's very hard to learn by immersion as people here are less social. And you can easily go weeks without speaking to anyone. This is interesting. So she's making a division between the northern Italian and the southern Italian. Wow, I'm sweating, my friends. Sto sudando. Sudare is the verb to sweat. It's very warm, fa molto caldo. Oggi fa molto caldo. So, as people here, she's saying that in the northern part of Italy, people are less social. So, when she goes to the south, she can practice more her Italian. Because, anyway, it's true, that's true. Italian people in the south are more sociable than in the north, even if we can never generalize, but so you are thinking too much. I'm the same, with extremely little Italian, but as long as you make the effort, it will be all fine. The word when communicating will help, and eventually you will learn the language. Again, the only problem about this guy, this person, if is this person needs to learn the Italian language to work. Because believe me, if it's about working, or you find a job, which I would recommend if you're not Italian, to find a job that requires English language, remote, English classes, teacher, whatever. Uh, any job that needs English mainly, but if you need Italian to work, I'd say that in the beginning, the first 2, 3 years could be very, very hard to find a job if you're not fluent in Italian language. So you will learn faster if you make the efforts. Italian will do their best to help you by speaking most English with a few Italian words in a sentence, and you can usually get the words based. Anyway, Italians are friendly people, so you will always find someone that you can speak Italian or even English with. Obviously, to speak a bit of English is fine, but it's better to do always full immersion with Italian people. I would recommend to watch films in Italian language with Italian subtitles because reading is much easier to understand than talking. True. Then I have felt like having at least a conversational level before moving would be essential. This is what I recommend to everyone, to have at least a basic conversational level with a not huge amount of words, with a decent vocabulary, and then you can start going deep once you're moving here. Totally agree. Um, then, no, you will just learn after you move. You don't need to learn now. So, in the beginning, if you're planning to move, I would recommend classes, tutor, any way you can find to learn Italian. Again, reading a book, try to read a book. Anyway, then you will start seriously, you will become fluent the moment you are moving here to Italy. I've been here for 13 years, and it took me 3 long years before I could even have a conversation. Now, maybe this person was a bit slower than, again, we all have a different speed, we all learn at a different pace. So it's not really the same for everyone. This person is quite honest because says, for 3 years I couldn't even have a conversation. I studied Italian with private teacher, but I also work full time in English. That's maybe what slowed her down. It wasn't until I met my Italian partner that my Italian rocketed and I became fluent very quickly. Yes, obviously, as I said, once you're here, it's important to have someone that you can speak Italian daily, on a daily basis, and then you will become fluent. I spoke no Italian when I moved here, so this person spoke zero Italian. I didn't need to find a job as I work online. That's the best situation. But you do learn here just from going. But you do learn here just from going to the bar and locals. Uh, and also in Italy, you can find classes for it with Italian language in most of the cities because there are always immigrants, foreigners, expats, let's call it as you want, and these people. So there are Italian classes for everyone once you are moving to Italy. I think even for free in some, I mean, most of the councils, generally in the libraries, they always, or in the councils, they might always have courses for Italian language. I will never advise moving to Italy without speaking the language. The person before moved without speaking the language simply because to work she needed to speak English. But I would recommend to not come with zero knowledge. A lot of the younger generation speak English, and often it is a good trade to help them with English, and they help with Italian. True, it's increasing on a daily basis the people who are speaking English in Italy. Maybe they're not at the best level, they're not at the highest level, they might not be very fluent, but doesn't matter. Anyway, there is an exchange. You teach them something, they will teach you back something else. Someone is saying that even there is the main TV channel called Rai in Italian. Listen at the sound of the R, because in Italian R, now Rai, Rai, R-A-I, we say Rai, not Ray, not Rai, 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 Rai. R is one of the most difficult sounds in Italy. The letter R is R, R. Many Italians have even problems to pronounce R. In the northern part of Italy, they pronounce R a bit more softer. In the south of Italy, it's more pronounced R, R. Anyway, Rai, Rai Television, RAI, il portale di Rai dedicato alla scuola. So there is this Italian main TV channel which has classes for Italian. I need to investigate myself. I will put the link in the description under the video. I'm lucky enough to be moving to Pisa for a month. Apart from practical reasons like work, healthcare, schools, other parents, where the language might be essential, I think you miss out on many parts of everyday life if you don't speak or understand Italian. Absolutely. Then I want to make a video about how necessary, I mean, let's say you are not Italian, you are moving here, but you have a knowledge of Italian, but still there are some places where you might still need to have someone beside you fluent. All the bureaucracy or in the hospital. So there are situations that is always better to have, if you are not at a fluent level, to have always someone beside that can help you in this type of situation. A translator, most of the times, even a translator might be essential. Anyway, I've been using Duolingo to help with the vocabularies, and my in-laws don't speak English, so I'm forced to understand Italian. Within 1 month here, I can say I managed to do daily conversation with people. If you are not in touch with any English and you have only Italians around you, believe me, a month you will make huge steps and you will succeed, simply because it's true. And again, Italian is not really a difficult language. All right, my friends, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. And anyway, we'll go back to Italian classes, to more about this topic, more about the language. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you here on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel to my following videos. Bye!